I know everybody here is very concerned about the public safety with the current migrant shelters on Staten Island.
If you wouldn't say go back to your country, to your Nona, you should ask yourself why you are so willing to say it to a black and brown person.
People don't feel safe anymore.
All right, can we have order here, please?
People that came to the border illegally are going to be taking all of our resources.
Who have signed our petition, expressing our solidarity with migrants and asylum seekers.
Yes, they would. If convicted.
So I'm here today to talk about the migrant crisis. I'm not against immigration as long as it's legal immigration, right? I mean, yeah.
I first want to start out by saying that I'm not anti-immigration, but what's going on isn't normal at any level. We are all from immigrants, but we went through a process. None of those processes are in place now. Health check for diseases, criminal background checks, sex.
We need order, please.
Sex offender checks. People don't feel safe anymore. There are no showers in the building. The men are showering outside. They are taking showers, coming out half-dressed with clothes and underwear hanging on the fence. This is not acceptable. I'm here asking the community support to shut down the migrant center at St. John's Villa and to stop migrants from coming in. And to stop the migrants from coming into Staten Island in secret and without knowledge.
Wrap it up now, sir.
Establish a safe neighborhood where we can continue to raise our family in a safe community. Give people a chance to live in a community that values and respects everyone. Today, I'm fighting for my home. Tomorrow, it could be yours. We need a united front on Staten Island to stop our government from doing this without our input.
Thank you, sir. All right, can we have order here, please?
You with the white sign, take your seat and sit down. This is a community board meeting. This is not a protest site. You can protest outside. Put your signs down and behave yourself. If you can't behave yourself, leave the room.
Quiet! All right, so I'm here today to talk about the migrant crisis. I'm not against immigration as long as it's legal immigration, right? I mean, yeah. So, my parents, my family, they came here as immigrants. My grandfather fled to Argentina after World War II to escape persecution, and then he immigrated legally to the United States as a nuclear scientist. He had a saying he taught us. It was, Arbeit macht frei. Work will make you free. And I remember that a lot. So a lot of people say I'm racist just because I don't want illegals coming over here. I'm racist? Tell that to the 3% Native American woman I took to Applebee's last week. Tell that to the person of color my dad's company hired 2 years ago, who always refers to me as my man, right? Instead of spending all this money, city money on the migrants, we should be spending it on, public housing, libraries, health care, right? SNAP benefits. Actually, you know what? Actually, who am I kidding? SNAP benefits, housing, that all sounds like socialism. What are we, China? You know what? We should take the money from the migrants and give it to the police, right? And then we should build a few roads. Yeah, build a few roads. Like, build a road right by my house, and that way I can sell my house, move to Florida, or move to a state where no one's going to teach my kid that slavery was bad. Yeah.
Staten Island has always been a proud borough and one that has always helped its own. And I think the divisive issue here is that we do not see these migrants as our own. I'm a fourth-generation Staten Islander, and my family, they came over here in 1910. I want each and every one of you to ask yourselves what year your family came to Staten Island. Staten Island has always been made up of migrants. We're proud to be Italian on St. Joseph's Day when we get our pastries, and we are proud to be Irish during the Forest Avenue Parade. Yet we have forgotten this and have put the blame on people who are just looking for a better life, people like every single one of our ancestors. Think back to the stories that we grew up with, of times where newspaper articles reported the Irish are stealing our jobs, of times when signs read "No guineas allowed." Think back to those stories. Our ancestors have been subjected to the same hate that was displayed at St. John Villa a few weeks ago. The difference now, the sad difference now, is that the bullies are the children of immigrants. If you wouldn't say go back to your country, to your Nona, you should ask yourself why you are so willing to say it to a black and brown person. They are not discussing the positives, like how funding has helped local nonprofits. They are not discussing how these fundings has brought your local Catholic churches out of poverty, because they are getting multiple hundreds of thousands.
Enough. Please.
There were definitely
What did they do?
I don't think everybody realized they only got 2 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's why I got up. That other microphone,
You have to let them know everybody's got 2 minutes. I am the son of immigrants. My parents came here with nothing, and they fought for the American dream. They achieved it. Nobody ever gave them a damn thing. When I started first grade, I didn't speak English. We are not anti-immigrant. What we are is anti-insanity. And having a border that is open without vetting who comes through is absolute insanity.
My name is Lily. I'm a first-generation proud American, and I happen to work for Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis. I'm just here to beg you not to turn this political. It's a crisis. People aren't getting vetted. There's drugs coming in. Fentanyl is on the rise. Tuberculosis is up. People that came to the border illegally are going to be taking all of our resources. And this is a situation that we need to work on. And I say it respectfully. Please don't kill me when I walk from the microphone.
I'm going to pause their bigoted disinformation campaign for 1 second, talk about the deeper story here, how our media environment fuels our political divide. Because what you think about the migrant crisis might have a lot to do with the news you read. Most of you might already know this, yet here we are, which is why I'm genuinely excited to tell you about Ground News. This website and app shows you the story behind the story. When news breaks, they tell you which sources are covering it, how reliable they are, and whether or not they have a political bias. I promise you all of this ties together with this. So now, if we take a closer look at the cuts to overtime pay for police, we can see that this story is mostly being covered by right-leaning sources. Up top, you get a summary of the issue from the left, right, center perspective. Very quickly, I can see that all uniformed agencies, including the NYPD, will be required to submit plans to reduce overtime costs, with budget hawks supporting the measure and the police union highlighting staffing shortages. Meanwhile, the right ties this issue directly to the migrant crisis as the cause. I told you this related. Scrolling down, I can compare headlines and read full articles to get a sense of what's going on. I can also see that most of the sources covering this story have a mixed factuality rating. On the opposite side of the political spectrum, I found this story, mostly covered by left and center rated sources. This reporting suggests that more could be done to support NYC migrants, but instead city officials are using this moment to get funding from state and federal officials. Big shout out to Ground News. Big shout out to their staff, which helped me put all this together. And now, back to our trolling.
Hello, everyone. My name is Meredith Forsyth, and I am a proud alumna of St. Joseph Hill Academy High School. I am appearing here today on behalf of more than 200 alums of St. Joseph Hill Academy and fellow community members who have signed our petition expressing our solidarity with migrants and asylum seekers. Those of us who have signed our petition want to affirm that at Hill we were taught the importance of service to our community. The current humanitarian crisis unfolding in our city is no different than the many other causes that we have supported over the years. In our petition, we have urged the school to uphold its values of service and stewardship to our community and to explore ways to support migrants and asylum seekers. Our petition, which I would be happy to share and submit via email to the board, also specifically asks Community Board 2 to call upon the city to establish a liaison to respond to any reasonable community safety concerns associated with the placement of the migrant shelter.
Wrap it up, please.
Resources, not rejection. We are urgently calling for more resources, cooperation, and support from the city and local officials to improve the migrant shelter site conditions and provide the necessary resources for migrants and asylum seekers to integrate into our community. Thank you.
My name is Francesca Galelli. I am honored to be here on behalf of District Attorney Mike McMahon tonight. I know everybody here is very concerned about the public safety with the current migrant shelters on Staten Island. I want to be clear that at this time, there have been zero arrests made of the migrants that have been here so far on Staten Island, and none have been included in any filed police reports. I want to be clear that the NYPD and private security firms have been stationed at these sites for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, since the first arrival of the migrants. And I know they're working very hard to make sure that we're keeping Staten Islanders safe. I want to be very clear that I know there are concerns as well should a migrant be arrested for a crime committed here on Staten Island. In the event that a migrant is arrested on Staten Island, they would be prosecuted the same way Staten Islanders are. Yes, they would. If convicted, they would be sentenced. If convicted, they would be sentenced to fill their entire term here on Staten Island before deportation is even considered. That being said, DA McMahon agrees with the local elected officials here tonight that Island Shores, Villa, and other shelters in residential communities are inappropriate locations to house migrants. And we joined with Congresswoman Nicole Maliotakis, Assemblyman Tanusis, who is here tonight, and Assemblyman Sam Pirozzolo, who is here tonight, to have this letter to make sure that we are doing everything in our power to protect Staten Islanders.
Okay, thank you, and that ends our public session. Now we're going to move to standing committee reports. Aging, Dr. Seminara.
As a public service announcement for those over the age of 65, the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, along with the CDC, have recommended 3 vaccines this year. One of them is for the flu vaccine, one is for RSV, and one is for the COVID vaccine. If anybody has any questions about these, they can address them with me directly. But certainly, I wanted to give you that information that it is recommended. Thank you.
No, public session is closed. Thank you. Okay. Public session. Capital expense budget. Roy? Excuse me. Gentlemen.
Dude, let me explain this.
I'm not a dude.
I'm not your child.
We have her removed. Could you get her out of here, please?
This is a public meeting.
Yeah, but you're being rude. Get out.
This is a public meeting.
Out.
You're upsetting the public.
Out.
Oh, the public portion is signed up. Now we're on to the vaccine. So we leave the language okay. That's all right with you.
I never said that.
Okay. So
You're being rude. Out. Out.
Treason. It's treason at the highest level. You want to tell me I can't talk? Don't touch me.
Okay. Where's Roy here?
An issue arose that fortunately, like tonight, we're having in-person meetings. We've witnessed democracy in action, full face, so I'm happy to be in person again.
New business.
Go.
Where's the camera?
This girl, you're going to make her speak.
Oh, yes.
With your own business, with the Lincoln Avenue DOT commissioner from Staten Island, come back and tell us how things are going. I haven't driven up the road since this has happened, or has it been happening, and it's in fact worse. I don't know.
I don't know either. I haven't driven up that way either, but maybe at the next full board meeting, we can invite the commissioner back and she can give us a report. Oh, I'm sorry. There you are. Come on up. This is Anne Marie. Oh, it's okay, Anne Marie.
Hi, everyone. Pardon my voice. My name is Ann Calitri. I'm with the Staten Island Borough Commissioner's Office for the Department of Transportation. So any concerns you have, let me hear. I'm all ears. You can find me after the meeting.
Thank you for showing up. Okay. So we went old business, new business. Any new business?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. See you next month.
It was less boring than the Mayor Adams thing you took me to.
Oh, God. Yeah, no.
So boring.
Yeah.